Well, let's turn our attention first to the Federal Reserve, which may look a little different next year. Yahoo Finance Fed correspondent Brian Cheung has been working this story for us. Brian.
Hey, well, new year, new me, and new year, new FOMC, if you will. The Federal Open Market Committee, which sets monetary policy, is set to get a little bit of a shakeup in 2022, not just because of the normal rotation that we usually get on a yearly basis, but because of some new appointments that we can also get from the Biden administration. So the Wall Street Journal actually interestingly reporting yesterday that the administration is close to naming names for the three remaining vacancies at the Federal Reserve Board of Governors. Sarah Bloom Raskin, who you can see photos of on your screen right there, who was formerly at the Federal Reserve and then also at the U.S. Treasury for a bit, is apparently slated for the possible Fed Vice Chairman of Supervision role. Lisa Cook, who you also see on your screen ahead of you, also rumored to be in the running for a Fed governor role. She's a professor at Michigan State University. And then there's also Philip Jefferson, who's a professor and administrator at Davidson College, which is in North Carolina, which the Wall Street Journal is reporting could round out that slate of Fed nominees. Now, interestingly, Goldman Sachs had said before that reporting yesterday that any sort of Biden administration nominees for the Fed board are likely to have a dovish tilt, referring to maybe being more preferable to a slower reaction function in normalizing monetary policy. But hold on to that for just 1 second, because there might be a hawkish tilt for the rotating cast of members coming into the FOMC. Keep in mind, there are 12 regional bank presidents. 4 of them only have votes, and those 4 change on a yearly basis. So for 2022, your cast of characters will be James Bullard from the St. Louis Fed, Esther George from the Kansas City Fed, Loretta Mester from the Cleveland Fed, and then Ken Montgomery, who's currently in an acting role as the Boston Fed. You'll recall that it was Eric Rosengren who was at the head of the Boston Fed, but he stepped down after that trading debacle earlier in the year. So those are your 4 members. Now, again, the policy setting committee really is very influential in setting where interest rates go. All 19 members of the committee ultimately deliberate, but again, only 4 of those regional reserve bank presidents will actually have a vote when it comes to deciding that policy. Could be very influential if Bullard, George, and Mester, who have voiced advocacy for pulling policy back sometime in 2022, maybe that hawkish tilt actually negates any sort of dovish tilt that could be coming from the Biden administration's new slate of nominees. Either way, going to make for a very interesting dynamic come January.
Also make for a whole bunch of interesting stories from you, Brian Cheung. Brian Cheung, thank you so much as always.